Hello, my name is Rob, and you can see Dave the chicken just in the background behind me. Welcome to the Isle of Wight College Animal Unit. Today I'm going to give you a guided tour of our animal unit so you can see some of the amazing animals that you'll be working with here as a student. So as you enter the animal unit, the first place you will come to is our outdoor animal section. Now here we have a range of enclosures, including our bantam enclosure, with a nice hutch area for them to sleep at night. We also have our cockatiel and ring-necked parakeet aviary, so you can see our 4 cockatiels and Mr. Green, our ring-necked parakeet, just over there perching at the moment. We also have our chicken hutch area, which houses a group of hens and also our male chicken Dave. We have also got a ferret enclosure over here, which houses 2 males who are currently sleeping at the moment. And then towards the end here, we have got our rabbit enclosure, which is currently being occupied by Bramble, our hen. Now, the rabbits, the chickens and the bantams, they have access out in the yard area throughout the day to give them a little bit more space to be able to stretch their legs. And just to give them a little bit more space as well. When you first enter the Isle of Wight College Animal Unit, the first room that you'll come to is the classroom. Now on this board here, it displays which animals we currently house here, split up into each section. So here we have our domestic mammals, who we will go and see shortly. We then have our exotic mammals and invertebrates, which are housed in the classroom, which we're in currently. We then have our outdoor animals, who we've just seen. And then finally, we have our exotics, so our herptiles, which includes reptiles, amphibians, and also our fish. So this is our classroom. Now let's go and take a look at the animals that we keep in here. In this enclosure, you can see our Maclay stick insects. So here's one. We have a pair in here. Next to them, we have got our African land snail colony. And next to them, we've got our colony of cockroaches with their bowl of fruit and veg. Along the back here, we've got our African pygmy dormice enclosure, which is lovely and big for them. We've got a group of 7 that live in this enclosure. Next, we have got our African spiny mice enclosure. Now, we've got 4 that live in here all together. Now you can see one just perching up on here. Signposted on each enclosure are these information signs. Now these are really helpful to us and also to you as students. So they tell us exactly who's in each enclosure with their names and also a picture to show us what they look like and if they have any different identification features, which can be really useful if you have animals that look quite similar. It also tells us additional information about each animal as well, so that could be in terms of how you pick them up or anything that you need to be wary of for each one. It's also good to note the different colours used on each sign as well, because that tells us how advanced they are. So that can be if they're quite difficult to handle and they require extra training or maybe supervision from a member of staff, they might be coloured in red, like the African spiny mice here. Some others might be in green, which tells us they're one of the easier animals to handle, and they might require less skill and are a bit easier to handle. And then we have the enclosure for Quilomena, our African pygmy hedgehog that lives in here. So after the classroom, the next room that you come to is our exotics, so our herptiles and our fish. And the first enclosure that you come to here is our female adult crested gecko. So you can see Athena, who's just sat on her plant here. Next to the female crested geckos is our lovely male Romeo, who you can see just sat on his branch, currently basking underneath his heat lamp, keeping nice and warm. Opposite our crested geckos is Hugo, our lovely Horsfield's tortoise, who again also basking underneath his heat lamp, keeping nice and warm. What we also like to do with our tortoises is when it's a really nice hot sunny day outside, so during the summer months, we will take them outside so they can have access to the grass paddocks area. Just gives them somewhere different, a different environment for them, and it's quite nice to do that when it's the summer months and it's nice and warm. We also keep a range of amphibians as well, so we've got our banded bullfrog enclosure here. It's a lovely enclosure that houses a male and a female. And in here is our white tree frog. His name is Darwin. He's super friendly, and he's also pretty cool to look at as well. And we also have a pair of African clawed frogs that live in this tank here. So we've got Lily and Paddy. And here we have got our mixed species community freshwater fish tank. A lovely big tank, lots and lots of fish in there. Another animal that's currently basking, keeping herself nice and warm, this is Shelley, our Herman's tortoise. She's one of the favourites, she's got lots and lots of character, and she's also very active for a tortoise. She is a Herman's tortoise. She's got a lovely long enclosure, it goes all the way across here. One of my personal favourites is Pascal. He is our Yemen chameleon, or veiled chameleon. Now, a little fun fact about chameleons, although it's thought that they change colour to camouflage in their environment, it's more commonly to show us how they're feeling. So that's really handy because we can take a quick look at Pascal. Now at the moment he's showing us some nice bright green colours. That tells us that he's really happy. As you can see, Pascal's got a lovely large enclosure and it's used to simulate a rainforest environment. So you'll notice with some of the enclosures here we have foggers. And they sprout lots of mist throughout the day, and they keep their enclosures of our reptiles and amphibians nice and humid for those that need it. We also house a group of leopard geckos, so you can see Nomada, who's just gone in there. There's 3 other females in this enclosure, and in this lovely enclosure we house Charlie, who's our adult male leopard gecko. And just below our leopard geckos lives Achilles, our bearded dragon. So he's got a nice big enclosure as well. And the final 2 enclosures in our exotics, not everyone's favourite reptile, unfortunately, is our snakes. So we've got our royal python, Twirl, and then we've also got our corn snake Malteser, who you can see just part of his body, just hiding away at the moment. So that is a tour of our exotics room. Now we will go across to our domestic mammal room. So when you enter the mammal room, the first enclosure that you come to is the guinea pigs. So we have 10 females that live in here. As you see, we've got a couple of them roaming around out this morning, stretching their legs. Next to the guinea pigs, we have got our Daegu enclosures. So we've got the lovely Topsy here. Right, Topsy. And we have got our 2 females, Cherry and Blossom. Right in there, guys, can you see, keeping nice and cosy in their box at the back there. Now when you come into the animal unit, part of your duties down here will be to clean the animals. Now we keep lots of different substrates and beddings that we use for our animals in each room, and also the equipment that you need as well. So lots of cleaning equipment here, so different disinfectant sprays, dustpans, brushes, newspaper which we use as a substrate for lots of the animals, so we put it on their flooring, and signposted tubs which tell you exactly what substrates we keep, and also a really helpful sign that tells you which animals they are also for. Along the side here we've got 2 nice big rat enclosures, so each one houses 3 females, so we have a total of 6 here. If you can see just a little nose poking out there, seeing what's going on. In this enclosure here we've got Mr. Panda, our hamster. Just below him we have got an adult female ferret called Luna. She's currently retiring here in the mammal room, keeping away from the hustle and bustle outside, so she's living in here. And then finally we've got our lovely big chinchilla enclosure. So we currently have 4 individuals that live here. We've got 2 males and 2 females, 2 of which you can see just in their enclosure here. We also have lots of other information boards dotted around our animal unit, which tells us about different information relating to the health diets and other information for the animals that we keep here. They're really useful to check out every now and then. So that is the guided tour of the animal unit. So now that we've had a look around to see what animals we have, I'm now going to show you some handling of a range of the animals that we keep here. Next we've got Quillamina, our African pygmy hedgehog. Now you'll notice when I'm handling her, I've got these nice sturdy gloves on. The reason for that is that they've got really sharp spines all across their body, and you don't want to get those in your hand. So Quillamina, she's really friendly, she's quite happy to come out. I think she likes a bit of attention really, don't you? Okay, so now I'm in the domestic mammal room and I'm joined by Mr. Panda, our Syrian hamster. So one of the smaller mammals that we keep here. He is a type of rodent. Now Syrian hamsters are solitary animals. What that means is they like to generally live by themselves. However, that doesn't mean that Mr. Panda doesn't like to come out. As you can see, he's quite happy to have a little walk around and see what's going on this morning, aren't you? So what we'll do now is have a look at one of our other mammals that we keep in here. I'm now joined by Ash, our adult female guinea pig. Now she's got her name due to the lovely ash grey markings that she's got all along her body and her face. Now guinea pigs are really sociable animals. You hear her probably doing her little chattering noises that she likes to make. And she'll do that when she's with the other guinea pigs as well. Now guinea pigs are great animals to practice your handling skills with, because they really don't mind it at all. They're quite happy to tolerate being picked up. And it's also good to practice handling and restraint skills as well. So a form of restraint that you can practice with the guinea pig is something called a towel wrap, which you will learn about when you join us at the college. Now guinea pigs are herbivorous animals, so that means that vegetation makes up a large part of their diet, or most of their diet. Now here at the college we have a special type of pellet that's made specifically for guinea pigs. However, when it's not too bad outside, and when it's a bit warmer, we like to take our guinea pigs out onto the grass paddocks. So that means they can naturally graze on the grass that we have out there. So they're essentially like little portable lawnmowers. So they do the job for us, and they're also getting some lovely grass in their diet, which they also enjoy as well, don't you, Ash? Cool, so that is our a sample of our mammals. So what I'll do now is show you a couple of the animals that we keep outside. In our outdoor section we also have a couple of grass paddocks that are great to bring some of our herbivorous animals out to graze throughout the day, especially in the warmer months when it's nice and sunny out here. Okay, so beside me here I have Hennifer, one of our lovely bantams that currently lives outside in the animal unit, but she doesn't mind coming in for a quick bit of handling. So we've got her here. So when handling chickens and bantams, it's always really important to make sure that we keep the wings nice and secure by their sides, because otherwise she'll probably flap around a little bit. So it's just to keep her nice and secure. So this is Hennifer. I'm also joined by Edna, one of our hens here as well. So we use a similar method when handling them too, making sure their wings are nice and secure. She also wanted to get in on the action, so I thought I'd show you Edna too. And the final animal that I'm going to show you guys today is one of our male ferrets. So this is Malfoy. Now when I'm handling him, I'm using both hands to keep him nice and supported where they've got their long slender bodies, just to make sure he's all nice and secure. And he's licking his lips, which tells me that you're probably a bit hungry and he's probably ready for his dinner. So thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed your tour of the Isle of Wight College Animal Unit, and hopefully see you and you'll be seeing the animals in the near future.